Greetings. Welcome to Karen Hope's 15 Minutes of Solid Inspiration, the channel where hope grows inspiration. Now, thank you so much for being here for our Sunday weekly review. If this is the first time you've ever been on the channel, this is the day that I dedicate about 1 to 2 minutes to just briefly go over each podcast episode of my daily inspirational podcast, Karen Hope's 15 Minutes of Solid Inspiration. Okay, so we're going to go through this. It's going to be quickly, and then we're going to wrap up the video with a little inspiration after I have a little bit of my coffee. This whole thing is full of coffee, y'all. What I did with this morning is I went to Stripes. I'll tell y'all about that later because I have something to tell you that happened this morning. But I'm going to go through the review first. But we went to go get coffee, and they have this deal, like if you take in your own container. Not too many people know this. I guess they do because we do the same with soda. But if you go in with your own container, you could fill that bad boy up. And, just for a little over $1. So yeah, I did that. There was such good coffee there. I have plenty of coffee here, but it's sometimes, like McDonald's coffee. I'm getting off track, but McDonald's coffee is so good. I would rather have McDonald's coffee than Starbucks coffee. And sometimes I make a good cup of coffee, like always, but sometimes you don't want your own cup of coffee, right? We don't. We don't want our own cooking sometimes. I love it when I know that someone can cook very well, they keep their kitchen clean and stuff. And, they're just, that makes a difference, doesn't it, y'all? I mean, I say it and it's not funny. It makes a difference. And the people that you just trust to know that they want clean food and they want the same for you. I love it to sit down somewhere and have a meal that I don't have to cook. It's almost like amazing. But anyway, let's move forward into today's weekly review. Now, yes, I'm going to be looking down at my notes, y'all. And I like to always tell you that because my eyes will not, I like eye-to-eye contact. You're not even here. But I really like that feel. I really like that vibe because I like to talk to people that way. I like for them to talk to me that way. Look me here. Look me in my eye when you're talking to me. So I like to make sure that I'm doing the same. But I will be looking down at the notes, okay? So we're going to start that now. I'm going to start with episode, let me see. What episode was this? I want to say that we ended with episode 131, and that was on Saturday. So Monday was episode 126. I think I counted that correctly. Okay, so Monday, that episode title was Love and Happiness. And now I'm going to say right off the bat, this episode was called Love and Happiness, and it was called that because that's what we need to claim every day of our lives. We need to claim love, which is God, first and foremost. I mean, we need to claim Him. We need to say He is God and God alone, period. And then we need to, and that should make us happy first and foremost, and it should bring happiness into our lives when we believe what He says. There's a word of God that tells us things that we need to do to stay happy and to how to claim it and to feel love, how to claim it, So, and this has nothing to do with wishing. I guess that's what I should have said. This podcast episode, Love and Happiness, has nothing to do with wishing. It has everything to do with working for it. Not wishing for it, but working for it. Because love and happiness starts from within. We need to work on ourselves. And now, when it surfaces from our core, because that's where it comes from, it doesn't come from anywhere else. We need to completely trust God that it is our gift from Him, and we need to keep it. The episode was all about keeping it, Now, moving on to Tuesday, November 24th. Isn't this music great? Alexa has such a great playlist for me. Thank you, Alexa. Resume. I can't say her name. Oh God, November 24th. This episode was titled, Optimism Changes Everything. And oh yes, my friends, it does. It certainly does. You better believe it. In this episode, I talked about joy and happiness. And honestly, if I just may say, just get it out of the way, this basically is the tone and the theme for the whole weekly review. So I won't have to say that anymore. I might just remind you or just say it because it's natural to say. It's just flowing that way. But we're going to understand right now that this whole weekly review is going to be about joy and happiness, keeping it, finding it, knowing that it starts within first, and just embracing it and knowing that we are born joy and happiness. But we'll get to that, But why wouldn't that be the theme for the week, right? I mean, joy and happiness, they do spring from optimism, being positive. It's very important to be optimistic and stay encouraged when, necessary changes are happening in our lives. And necessary changes is season to season. Y'all, listen, we have seasons. One example, when we get older, like I am now, 50 years old, I had a season back, and that was youth. And there were things to do as a youth that were in that season. But right now at this season, now there's some things that it will be fine in every season because God gives us pleasures of life. But there are stages of life to get us from joy to joy. And those stages, we can't stay in them. We can't be stuck in it. For instance, if you're 50 years old, but you're trying to make your way to the club that says that where most of the 21-year-olds are, okay? You may be having fun, but you're not doing yourself any good at all. You're not appreciating your seasons. And when we don't appreciate our seasons, life gets pretty bland. It does. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's nasty. Doesn't taste too good. I guess that's what to be real about it, 100%. So, these are necessary changes that are occurring in our lives, these seasons, right? And we can't fool ourselves into thinking that we're being punished when we're going to a different season. We can't fool ourselves and convince ourselves into thinking that life is happening to us, No, it's not happening to us, it's happening for us. And we have to continue to grow. So we have to go from season to season, And we are worthy of the goodness that comes with every season, y'all. It's like a reward. Do you know that when you can look back and say, God, I had so much fun, but I'm having more fun now. It's a good thing. You are worthy. I am worthy of the good God brings to us through positivity, right? And when we get these things that God sends us, good friends, good feelings, good company, good food, good vacation, a good job, a wonderful, good relationships. I don't know what to say. Those things that are ideal, those things that make us happy, those things that bring joy to our life. We have to understand that it is ours and gladly understand, because that change, those seasons that we are having, that is the gateway, y'all. The gateway to our miracles, to our abundance, and to our love. And I mean not just love, but I mean love in. Like good love and good love in. There's two different things. We can love our neighbor. That's good love. I pointed that way, y'all, because my neighbor is that way. I'm so goofy. Like sometimes it's just so goofy. But we can love our neighbor. But then in our home, the people that come in, the friends that cross our threshold, the loving family members that live with us, that's good loving. With that little right there, it's good loving. And so it takes God to be in our lives. It takes us to claim these things that He gives us to have it, to have it. Okay, so let's move along to Wednesday, November 25th. piggybacking off the last episode, the name of this episode was Search Your Happiness in Yourself. Like, find it in yourself and not in the world. Like I just said, we need to remain joyful and stay mindful of it. Stay mindful that joyful anticipation is not the same as being anxious or stressed out, like we are about the future, like thinking about things that haven't even happened yet. No, we know that it's going to be good. That's all we need to know. We just need to move forward and not stress out. Joyful anticipation is just knowing that something good is there, and we'll just remain staying positive until we meet it. Yes, indeed. So we should always search our soul first for happiness, and always for happiness, for peace, for joy. Search our soul for it. Yeah. Not the world, y'all. Yeah, it won't be there. It's not there. And guess what else, too? We'll have to come back to ourselves to start all over anyway. Yeah. But guess what? There's joy in that too. So let me just say this. I don't want to discourage anyone. We sometimes have to start all over. We don't get it right, and we have to start all over. But there's joy in that, because guess what? It just means that because you've done it before, you didn't quit. You're not a quitter. You're a winner. You see, we may fail, y'all, in life at things. I failed so many times. I had to think to myself yesterday, Karen Hope, this you're not failing, because I kept looking at my numbers. I literally have the last week only 3 people, and I believe they're probably the same 3 people because it's a consistent number, have been listening to my podcast. I put a lot into this, and 3 people listen, but I'm not failing. The failure will be in me quitting, and I will not. So, speaking of not quitting, let's go on to Thursday, November 26th, and that was Thanksgiving. I planned on being by myself that day, but I've got a very good friend who made the time to make sure that I was okay. I was okay, but his gift to me was, friend, why are you by yourself? You don't have to. I'll be over there in a minute. I thought that was fantastic. So I was able to share my meal that I cooked for my puppy and I, and we had a big spread. Let me tell you how thankful I am. We had a turkey, we had ham, we had dinner rolls, we had candied carrots, we had fresh snap beans with a little pork jowl in there. We had white rice, we had giblet gravy, I had cabbage. Oh gosh. But you know what? I woke up thankful. And God will show you. Exactly. You did the exact what I was supposed to do. And he showed me what happens when you're grateful anyway. Yes. So, yeah, I spent time with my one of my most generous and loving and selfless and caring friends. And that was very nice. It's nothing better than a good homie. And but enough of that. We all know how special that is. We all know what gratefulness and thankfulness looks like. And I hope that your Thanksgiving day was full of gratefulness and full of thankfulness, even if you didn't have company, okay? I hope that you were grateful for being able to rest all day. I hope that you were grateful that you didn't have to cook anymore after cooking for 25, 27 years for everybody. When you were tired, left you to clean the kitchen, sweep the floor. I hope that I hope Thanksgiving Day met you resting, or exactly the way that you wanted it to be. And I hope you told God thank you. And guess what else, y'all? If you did not, it's never too late. You can tell him right now. You can tell him at any time of the day. And you don't even have to speak it, because there's a spirit within us that's directly connected with God, and it'll speak it for us. And say it the right way, okay, without any clutter. God, it's good. Now going on to the next episode. That was on Friday. And that was called God Bless You and Yours. You know what? Actually, no. This was the Thanksgiving episode was called God Bless You and Yours. Y'all, I was getting ahead of myself. Yeah. Like I was mentioning, I talked about remaining joyful and peaceful and loving all week, right? No matter what's going on. Okay. Thanksgiving Day. Yes. This is what I pray for you, you know. Oh, gosh. Y'all, listen. All that effort we have been putting in, you have been putting in to staying positive. All the effort that I have been putting in to stay positive. It's hard work. It's too many. It is hard work. It's not easy. It's easier to be negative. It's easier to just let things go. When I say things, I mean ourselves. It's easier. And we have every reason to be grateful, y'all. No matter what. Never stop. Never stop believing in God. Never stop believing that He is loving us. And that keeps us from never becoming so ungrateful that we stop loving ourselves, and we stop loving the things that we have right now, the present moment. If we can't love that, what is going on? Well, what do we need to change? That needs to change. It needs to change immediately, because it's directing you where you need to go. And if you're just stuck right there, you're not going to go anywhere. You know, those seasons, stuck in a season, trying to make that season work, and that season is over. You know, my grandmother used to tell me, my great-grandmother, Mama Effie, my mother's grandmother, she would say, don't beat a dead horse. What's it going to do? Where is it going to take you? What is it going to haul? What can you do? Nothing. Leave it alone. Move forward. That's what we're going to do right now, okay? And we move forward and counting everything as joy. God always loves us, and we should never stop being grateful. God, I'm going to say it one more time. Every moment of our life should be considered and counted as joy. No joke, it's serious business. Now we're going on to Friday. I think I've got myself back in the groove of things here. That episode title was called It's Up to You. And it is. You know, life is up to us. God is in control, but life is up to us. So, this was November 27th, yeah. Here we go again. About that joy, about that peace, about that encouragement, about faith, about belief, all that. We need to find it and keep it. We need to get our hands on it. We need to hold on to it, keep it. There's so many ways to say this. So many ways, but we must say it. That's the thing, and I guess that's what I'm getting to right now. We must say it. Why did I decide to talk about this? Why did I decide to talk about this all week? Oh, well, because I've started to understand what joy is. I've started to understand exactly what encouragement and faith and belief is, and staying positive. All these things are not only good emotions, y'all. It's a good emotion to have, and it helps us manifest things. But beside that, all manifestation power aside, it is our responsibility, period. It's just our responsibility. It's something that we must do. Like I said, we must talk about it. We must do it, okay? There are preachers. They must talk about a certain thing. There are mentors. They must talk about a certain thing. There are people who are just average people, average Joe like me. I must talk about a certain thing, you know? I'm out here with the people. I'm not on a podium or platform. I don't have a specific audience. It's people. It's people. And I'm starting to understand there's joy in people. There's joy in all of this. So, this positivity thing, y'all, it's a good feeling, but it's also our responsibility. And what happens in life, just in life, when we don't take responsibility for something? What happens? We know what happens. There are consequences. We get lost in the problem. We get lost in the troubles. And maybe some bad and not so ideal conditions and circumstances. We get lost in it. Actually, we think we become it, and it's not even us. We start to embody that. So, our feelings, those are two words that are hard to say together, like behind each other. Our responsibility. And so when we figure that out, that being lost in the sauce, lost in all that mess, we get lost in it. When we start to understand that positivity is our responsibility, we're found. We find our way right on out of it, right? We can say that the bad vibes, good vibes shake away the bad vibes. Or we can say, dark can't live where light is. We can say all those things. There's so many ways to say it. But the bottom line is we are found. We are lost and we are found. We are found who we're supposed to be. And when we are found, we realize we don't want to be lost again, don't we? We don't want to go there anymore. There's joy in that. Desire to never want to go back. Never want to be lost again. Nobody wants that. We don't want that. So it's all up to us. It is our responsibility. It's all up to us. Or, guess what? Something else my great-grandmother used to say. Or there's hell to pay. Those are things that we used to hear when we were little and didn't understand. There's hell to pay. And if you want to think about heaven and hell, okay, fine, you could do that. But hey, that's a pretty miserable existence is how I see it. I see it both ways, but in the moment right now, I'm not thinking about when I die and go to heaven. That's in the future. I'm talking about right now. There will be hell to pay. There's either heaven right now or hell right now. We shouldn't have to wait. I don't want to, hell is right now if we're miserable. And I don't want to wait on heaven. I want to get there too after life, but I don't want to wait on the good feelings. I don't want to wait on the good things. I want them now. So let's move on to Saturday, November 27th. I hope I didn't get the dates mixed up. I think we're at the 27th. This was episode 131. And it was pretty cool because 131 is a cool number, y'all. I like to look for angel numbers. When a number catches my attention, I just go to Google. Alexa doesn't find angel numbers. Did she say something? But Google does. You say, hey, Google, find angel number, whatever number has come to your head. And it's going to give you a pretty sweet message, y'all. And if anything, it's just a kind of another source of an affirmation or a validation. It's very nice to look up. It's just really cool. And it just puts a smile on your face. So episode 131 it put a smile on my face. So, yes, it seems like the music went off, didn't it? It's all right. I'm going to leave Alexa alone. Yeah. So this episode was, the last one was This Little Light of Mine. Yeah, and I decided to call this episode This Little Light of Mine because that's what the whole point is. A bunch of lights. Y'all know the song. I love telling people to let their light shine. I love it. I always have. Really. But I dedicated this podcast week to talking about keeping it and finding it. Because I wanted to include myself this time. I haven't done that before. I wanted to include myself. So, yes. If we can't see joy, y'all, we won't have it. And we need to. The joy that we have when we find it, we need to let it shine. It's in us. When I say when we find it, I mean when we dig down deep and tell God, yes, you know what, I remember, or yes, you're right, or yes, I will do that. We need to let that shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let it shine, y'all, okay? So that's it for the review. Remember that the podcast links to each podcast platform is down in the description box below. Excuse me, y'all, my nose. It's down in the description box below, okay? And just in case you did miss the podcast episodes, just go ahead and just listen to them. They're down there. And I hope you like this video today, y'all. What we're going to do is we are going to wrap up this video with a little bit of inspiration. And we've gotten to the bridge, okay? Take it to the bridge. We're here. Let's talk about this, and we'll call it a day until tomorrow. Okay, God is good. He certainly is good. So, y'all, instead of asking and wondering why something has happened to us, we should focus on how we can make it work for us, right? Because life isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. And we'll never be able to, y'all, we'll never be able to control everything. Don't try. Oh boy, don't try it. You'll have a migraine, tummy ache, backache, headache. You'll be cranky McCranky pants all the time. You know, probably not too approachable, probably not too inviting. And then you'll be the bitter person saying how no one likes you. And it's, you know, it becomes a vicious cycle. So, no, we can't control everything. And don't try. We are not God. Now, this is how I know we are not God, because we don't have control over everything. But we can embody, embrace the spiritual gifts and powers that God does give us, because he does give them to us. We are made in his reflection. We have been gifted power. That only a good God can give, right? It's only God given, y'all. All this is only God given. Even what's dark, okay, and it's allowed by God. And please do not unsubscribe for me saying this. God is in control of everything. He allows everything. See, this life is about how we respond to everything that God does. You know, it's all about getting us to our position and place in life that he means for us to be, where he wants us to be. So how we respond to all these things that he allows, because he's God, is our responsibility. We need to respond correctly, the best way, and the most positive way. That's our test. It's our responsibility. We're supposed to stay positive, because there are other things going on that need to happen for us to have a reason, a way, a chance, an opportunity, a choice. All those things God gives us to lead us to our place, a position, built up, built to last when we get there, refined. It's another way for us to have the choice to press through and be victorious. And that's how we were born. The word of God says that we are victorious. We were before we were born, y'all. We were victorious before he spoke light into the world. Every single person was created. This world was created. The heavens and everything was created according to God's perfect plan and design. So we need to keep control of our thoughts, and they need to stay good. And we must respond positively to life as much as we can, because it pleases God. And that is a pretty positive position for us to be in, right? It really is. So that's it for the video today, folks. Love and light to all of y'all, okay? Share, like this video, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel where hope grows inspiration. Turn that red notification bell gray for me, please. And check out the blog. This week's blogs, that link is down in the description box below. I haven't written today's blog, but it should be written by the time this video uploads. So check that out. And, just keep listening, y'all. Thank you so much for your solid support. I really do appreciate it. For those who are supporting the podcast monthly, thank you. I will never stop. For those who are considering, thank you so much. Again, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, y'all. It's helping me get this inspiration out into YouTube land. YouTube USA, YouTube globally. Okay? Thank you again, and God bless you and yours. And I will see you again tomorrow on this channel to exchange some awesome energy.